Hello, welcome to a 15-minute mobility and stretch for runners. A little yoga routine you can do before or after a run or just in your everyday practice. We're going to start by coming to standing at the top of your mat and just do some spinal rolls, so letting the chin drop to the chest and vertebrae by vertebrae rolling all the way down till the belly reaches towards the thighs, hands towards the earth. Inhale, rolling back up all the way to standing. Letting the chin be the last thing to lift. Taking that one more time, dropping the chin to the chest, slowly rolling all the way down the spine, coming to a forward fold. Bringing your hands onto the mat or blocks or books beneath you. We're going to straighten and bend one leg, so letting the left knee bend and the right leg straighten and just pedaling out the feet, opening out through the hamstrings and the calf, letting each heel drop like you're pedaling. Perhaps taking any wiggles from side to side with your hips. Moving the blocks or the books away from you. And again rolling up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to standing. Moving our weight onto the right foot, we're going to lift the left knee up towards hip height. Opening the knee out to the side, activating through the hip flexors. Bringing the knee back to center and letting that foot come down to the earth. Take it over to the other side. Right knee up, out to the side, back to center, and coming back down. Taking that again to the left. Turning those hip flexors on. And the right leg coming out to the side. And back down to the center. Lifting the left knee up now, we're going to swing the leg behind us, coming into a sort of warrior 3 position, bending that right knee at the same time, lifting the left knee back up towards the chest before we plant it. Right knee up, lifting the right leg back towards hip height, letting the torso come down, bringing that leg up towards the center and back down to the earth. We'll take that to the other side one more time. Knee to chest. Swinging the leg behind you, bringing that knee back to the chest and back down. Right knee to chest, heel up towards the hip height, coming to a T shape. Right knee up to the chest and letting the hands come down. Rolling down to a forward fold to bring the hands to the earth. We're going to step the left knee back, coming into a low lunge, keeping the hands grounded, pushing the hips down towards the mat. On the exhale, let the hips come back towards the heel for a half split. You're welcome to put your hands on blocks here. We're going to take a bit of a flow, moving between the two poses. Inhaling to come into your lunge. And exhaling to push the hips back towards half split. Opening out through the hips and the hamstrings and the calf. One more time. Coming into that low lunge, we're going to let the hips sink towards the mat and we're going to hold it for a few breaths. Letting the breath come in towards that left hip flexor, the left thigh. And exhale, pushing the hips back towards the heel, coming to the half split, letting the right toes point towards the ceiling. Keeping the spine straight where you can, gaze forward. Inhale, coming into that low lunge, letting the right hand swing round behind you, lifting the left knee up for a quad stretch. Using your left hand as a pillar of support. Maybe let the gaze come behind you here to open out through the neck. Inhale, let that arm come back up and over inside the right foot. Moving into our side lunge, so you could be up higher with your hands resting on the mat, or you could sink the hips down towards Skandasana, aiming to keep your heel on the floor, your right heel. Perhaps you want to let your right hand plant, left arm come up and over, coming into the full variation of Skandasana. It doesn't matter how close your hips are to the mat, as long as that right heel's grounded and you're opening out through the left leg. Bringing both hands down beside that right foot to step back into your downward facing dog, pushing the hips back towards the ceiling, pedaling out through the feet. Opening out through the calves, letting the spine be long. Gaze back towards the navel, towards the belly. Inhale, gazing between the hands, stepping the left foot now between them, coming to the low lunge on the left side, letting the hips sink down on the exhale. And push back towards the heel, coming to that half split, moving through that flow on this side. Inhale to low lunge, chest lifting. Exhale to half split, folding over that left leg. Taking that in your own pace for a couple rounds. Before on your next inhale, coming into that low lunge and holding it for a few breaths to open out through that right hip flexor, letting the hips sink down towards the mat. You're welcome to pop your hands on blocks or books just to bring the mat a bit closer to you for any of these positions. Exhale, hips back towards that right heel, straightening out through the left leg. Left toes pointing towards the ceiling. Perfect. I have a little wiggle around here just to get to a good position to show you, but we're going to come to that side lunge on the left side. So lunging into the left leg again, trying to keep that left heel planted on the floor. Either coming to a low side lunge or keeping your hips lifted as long as you're feeling a nice opening through that right leg. Perfect. Letting the right hand come down to the inside of the left foot. And we're going to take that quad stretch. So letting the left hand come back to meet the right foot, stretching out through the quad where possible. Letting the breath be steady here. Inhale, let that left arm lift up to frame the inside of the left foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. And again, pushing that belly towards the thighs, hips up towards the ceiling. And you can either take that pedaling motion again, or you can find some stillness here, having any bend in the knees that you need to. Doesn't matter if your heels aren't touching the floor. Inhale, gazing forward, bringing your feet to the outside of your hands to sink your hips down into a yogi squat. It doesn't matter how deep your squat is, again, whether your hips are near the floor. Trying to keep both heels grounded. Exhale, pushing the hands towards the earth, letting the belly come towards the thighs, hips lifting, forward fold. And we're going to take that in a little bit of a flow. Inhale, sinking down to the yogi squat, hands to heart center. Exhale, pushing the hips up towards the sky, forward fold. Inhale to our yogi squat. And exhaling into our forward fold. Just working on hip flexibility here. Taking a few breaths in our yogi squat now, just to open out through the legs, through the inner thighs. Bringing the hands to the earth to come back to kneeling. Sinking the hips down towards the heels. We're going to bring the hands behind us. Rocking back gently onto the tops of our feet, letting the knees lift. Coming into a stretch that stretches out the top of our feet and perhaps our shins. If you want to play around with any sort of balance, you can try and engage your core and bring your hands to heart center here, or keep your hands grounded. Perfect. Exhaling, bringing the hands round in front of you. We're going to tuck the toes under to stretch out the soles of our feet now. You might want to untuck your pinky toes. Sitting back on the heels, bringing the hands to heart center or to rest on your legs. If this one feels quite intense, you can always shift your weight forward to let your hands place on the earth, still pushing the hips back on top of the heels. Breathing through the sensation. Inhale, coming forward to bring the legs out in front of you. Bringing your knees into two 90-degree angles. we're going to move through a bit of hip work, lifting the hips up, coming onto that shin, bringing the hips back down to the earth and rotating it over to the other side to lift up. Exhale to lift down, swinging the legs round in a windscreen wiper motion to lift the hips up. Taking this in your own time, coming up as high as you can, squeezing through the glutes. Letting the knees walk round, keeping the feet on the floor. Lovely. Coming now to seated, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, coming into our butterfly posture. Growing tall through the spine, perhaps clasping onto the ankles or the feet. Inhaling for length and exhaling to fold over the legs, bringing the belly down towards the thighs. Perhaps the hands come towards the earth. Letting the head hang heavy. And coming back to the breath here, taking some deep belly breaths, noticing how the torso might lift with the inhale, and your weight might sink back down with the exhale. Inhale to walk yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Bringing the right leg out long, tucking the left leg in towards the chest. We're going to fold in between the knee and the foot. Letting those right toes point towards the ceiling, keeping the right leg active. Bringing the elbows down towards the earth. Doesn't matter how far you're folding, whether your arms are touching the ground. Just notice where you're feeling this sensation in your body. Inhale, using your hands to walk you back up to a tall spine, bringing the right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind you, coming into a twist. Again, keeping that right leg active, and taking the breath low into the belly. Maybe the gaze comes behind you here. Giving the spine some love. Inhale, coming back to center. We'll take that to the other side, letting the left leg come long, right foot tucking in towards that left thigh. And again, we'll just fold over in between the knees, letting the elbows come down towards the earth. Keeping the left toes pointed up towards the ceiling, keeping that leg active. Inhale, using your hands to walk you back up, bringing the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you as a pillar of support. Perhaps using that left arm as a bit of a lever to twist you round. Taking the breath all the way down to the lower belly or the base of the spine. Coming back through to center, bringing the feet planted in front of you, hands behind. Crossing the right ankle over the left knee, just coming into a figure of four stretch. Pushing into the hands, maybe you rock the knees side to side, just gently. Keeping the chest open. Feel free to take any ankle rolls here. Taking it to the other side, planting the right foot and bringing the left ankle on top of the right knee. Again, any movement that feels right in your body, maybe rocking side to side or any ankle rolls with that left ankle. Pushing into the hands to keep the chest open. Exhale, let the legs come long in front of you. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, and exhale, folding over both legs, just coming to our final posture here. Taking a restorative forward fold, bringing any bend in the knees that you need to let the belly come down towards them, letting the chest come towards the knees, letting the head hang heavy. Perfect. Inhale, coming back up to a comfortable seat. whether that's kneeling or cross-legged, and we'll just take one final breath together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Thank you for practicing with me.